I'm here with Rehan Haq, who is the, what's your proper title? Does anybody know?
Okay, I am the Vice President of Operations and Finance. Yes, the business card does not say at finance yet because I need to run out of these business cards to order more because I'm trying to be fiscally responsible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I am the Vice President of Operations and Finance for the Clearly Group, which is obviously Clearly Aligned and Clearly Select.
Yeah, and so, Ray, we are here in Las Vegas at the Bellagio. Recording. For me, this is my fourth podcast.
Really?
And you're only on number one.
This is my first podcast.
First ever?
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever.
What about your show, Cooking with Rehan?
Cooking with Rehan never took off. But I think, though, this might be podcast number one, but if you recall, I did a video review for some flashlights that you had ordered and delivered to my house.
Yeah, we did.
So I am a video reviewer of different YouTube items, or of different Amazon items.
A connoisseur of Amazon.
A connoisseur of Amazon is very well said. Like, I think you might be interested in section on Amazon, dude. It's best if we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But podcast number one.
Yeah. If anybody ever needs advice on what to buy, like you need to know about beds or RC cars or shovels, like Rehan can cover you with anything because this man, the amount of stuff he knows, he says it's useless, but I think it's actually very useful because when you're like, hey, I need to buy my wife, Amy, needed to buy me a pen for my birthday, really fancy pen. And it's like, who do you go to? You go to Ray.
Who do you call?
Who do you call? So, yeah.
I think a friend of mine just not that long ago, in front of you, I think we were flying back from Calgary. I think she referred to me as a barrel of useless information.
A barrel of useless information.
Not even a bag of useless information, but it was a barrel of useless information.
I didn't fight back on the barrel, but I fought back on the useless information.
Yes, because I am just by nature a very curious person. So, like, what did I do the other day? We're staying at the Bellagio. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look up the Wikipedia article of the Bellagio.
Right.
So
as one does.
As one does. So guess what? I spent, let's say 10 minutes. It's not like I spent half an hour or anything like that, but I spent 10, 15 minutes reading the Wikipedia article of the Bellagio.
Going right back to the great heist of
1936.
Well, the Bellagio was in Ocean's 11, right? That's the hotel that gets knocked off. So
yeah.
The great heist of 2003 or
was it 2003?
I don't know.
But I think Bellagio has been
You should tell me, you read the Wikipedia article.
26 years, or 28 years, celebrating 26 years, just under 4,000 rooms at the Bellagio. They should be paying me. They should comp my room.
Is this we're doing a review on the Bellagio? There's no cheat discussion.
There's no agenda, which is awesome. I like that we don't have an agenda of things that we need to talk about, but just under 4,000 rooms was actually supposed to be a completely different themed hotel. But when the guy who owns the Encore, Steve Wynn, he used to own it, but he sold it for $4 billion. He went to Italy. He went to Italy and the village of Bellagio. Was it? Yeah.
Bellagio is named after a city in Italy.
Yes. Someone's going to fact check me. And I'm 95% sure. Yes. Can you fact check me, please? And then that's where he was inspired. And that's where this hotel was born.
I would like to also just make a note here that we do different webinars. And so Ray and I were opening Ray was opening a webinar for me not too long ago. And the feedback we got back was, I don't know what's up with that bromance going on. And I was like,
really?
You just don't know Ray and I well enough.
Yeah, we've got a good relationship. And
then you will understand the bromance. So.
Exactly. So we've got,
Bellagio is a picturesque town in the Lombardy region of Italy.
There we go.
Located on a promontory at the center of Lake Como.
Oh,
there you go.
It's in the center of Lake. That's where we were. Ray and I have been to Italy, to Lake Como.
No. Wait, we weren't Lake Como. Lake Garda.
Lake Garda.
So there's two lakes that are like next to one. No, Lake Como and then Lake Garda.
Oh, okay. We were in Italy with our families, with our kids. So
when was that? That was May, right?
That was May.
And that's so cool that we were able to travel and obviously still work. And I know that you took some time to work remotely while you're in Italy, which is so cool. Like, how often can someone in your profession, like as a dentist, work remotely? Like, you've
pretty much
built
just
something
with this stuff. So yeah. So maybe let's get into some history here.
Yes.
Not that I want everybody to have to listen to the entire history of how Rehan and I met, but
it was November 14th, 2015. I think it was a Saturday at 11. No, I'm just kidding.
No, so essentially, Ray was a patient of mine.
Yep.
And we had, the theme for this summit event is experience matters. And so he comes into the practice and essentially has a sore tooth. And we check through, we do an exam, we sort out the problem, we deal with it, I think some fillings or whatever. I just gave up your secret that you've had a filling done, so sorry for. Hopefully, you're not going to sue me with HIPAA.
It's fine. We're in Vegas, so
sign this waiver, please.
No, I saw some billboards out on the out on the highway. So
essentially becomes a patient and then moves into the point of doing Invisalign treatment as we talk about his teeth.
Yes.
So from there, Ray starts working with us at Clearly Aligned. One of the very first people involved just part-time.
Yep.
And then eventually makes the move to go full-time. Now, I just want to give some background on Ray because what's so unique about this podcast and having him on board is the history of what Ray has done with his life. So here is the history of Ray. Ray was born to parents who lived in Africa because his dad worked for the UN.
Yeah, he worked for the United Nations and worked for the local government, like with universities.
With the World Food Bank?
FAO, so Food and Agriculture Organization.
Food and Agricultural Organization. And then when he is a child, so he's born in Pakistan, but then soon moves to
Kenya.
And then from Kenya to Eritrea.
And
then Eritrea back to Pakistan.
Which was in 96. So from 96 to 98 was back to Pakistan so that we could learn a little bit more about our culture, a little bit more about our extended families. Because I as you said, I grew up in Africa. So in 96, we had the opportunity of moving back to Canada because my dad had done his schooling in Canada. So we had the opportunity to move back. But it was just like, well, you know what? I think culture is very important, and I think it's important to know your extended family. So for 2 years, from 96 to 98, we did move back to Pakistan to learn who my cousins were and my aunts and my uncles, which was great. And then in 98, we moved to Canada.
Moved to Beaver Lodge, Alberta, right? A young Pakistani kid coming to northern Canada to freeze in the cold.
To Grand Prairie. Dude, I still remember, like I've shared this story with you, but I remember getting off the plane. Dude, I remember driving by Canadian Tire, right? And I'm just like, I was 12 when I moved to Canada. Canadian Tire. Why do they have such a large store that only sells tires? It's a thought that's going through my mind. Driving by Shoppers Drug Mart or London Drugs, being like, wait a minute, drugs are not good for you. Why are they selling drugs? So that was 98 for me.
And then from there, Ray ends up going to university for a few years, but takes a path of becoming one of the youngest Future Shop, or the youngest. So Future Shop is a store in Canada similar to Best Buy. Best Buy actually acquired them. He became the youngest manager in Canada.
Yes.
Managing a Best Buy at what age?
So it was Future Shop at that time.
Sorry, Future Shop.
I was 22.
22.
I was 22 running a $30 million business with anywhere from about 70 to 100 employees based on the time of the year. So during December, we would hire more people. And I was 22.
And then moving past that, Ray gets headhunted eventually to go work at one of the largest jewelry stores in Canada.
Yes.
And is Rolex authorized distributor. So Ray then had significant interactions dealing with the world of diamond purchasing, with jewelry acquisition, and dealing specifically with a brand like Rolex that specifically focuses on the experience of their customer and their clientele, as well as the value of brand.
Yes.
And then Ray starts working part-time for us and eventually decides to make the move to come over and join us full-time. And we'll maybe break down some of these different aspects. But what I think is so unique and interesting about Ray is that it's so cool to have somebody involved with the organization who has such experience. Oh, and I didn't even talk about the fact managing a lot of commercial real estate as well for, in the world of jewelry.
That's right.
And
we were present in a lot of different industries. Commercial real estate being one of them, obviously jewelry being another one, and then a couple of other like advertising, billboards and whatnot.
Yeah, advertising and whatnot. So, I think it's super interesting just to see from Ray how he is able to bring a different perspective towards the dental industry because he doesn't come from that world.
No.
And instead, he provides an experience for us to strive with our doctors to really elevating that standard of what they expect and what they receive. So, Ray, maybe talk to me a little bit about what do you perceive as being the biggest difference when you look at a doctor who, or maybe there isn't differences because you were just dealing with doctors buying Rolexes, but from the world of high finance, high jewelry, luxury goods sales to what you see in the world of helping support dentists with their journeys and their practices and the experiences that they receive being a part of our organization.
Yeah. What a beautiful question. You're a natural at this. No, I think obviously we're here at the Align Summit and the theme is experience matters. So something that I've learned over the time and over the years is people will remember certain experiences. And when we take a look at a brand such as Rolex, they have something called the Rolex way, where you have to do things a certain way in order to give people a certain experience. And in the world of Rolex, it doesn't matter if you're in Las Vegas, in New York, in Tokyo, in London, the experience has to be at that high level. So when I joined, obviously Clearly Align, Clearly Select, and, we're putting on these 3-day courses, one of the things that we looked at together was what is the experience that dentists and doctors that are attending going to have, and what kind of experience do we want to leave them with? And if you take a look at it, you can start really breaking it down to from a retail store standpoint, and a lot of people can look at this even from a dental perspective, is what's the experience of a patient walking in? What do they see? Are they going to see something messy, or are they going to see a very clean store? What do they hear? Are they hearing the radio with a bunch of different ads? Are they hearing
for other dental practices?
For other dental practices.
Ooh, there's a pet peeve.
I know, right? Are they hearing music that matches the brand? What do they smell? Now, obviously, I know, it can be very, you can have neutral smells, but sometimes, Vegas, here's a perfect example. You can walk through all these different casinos. They're pumping in different scents. And obviously there's, touch as well, but the key things being,
This is PG, Ray. Let's keep it.
Yes, we'll keep it PG. This is not the after hours.
The after hours podcast with Ray and Stephen. There's an idea. Moving past it. Moving past this, Ray is in charge of HR as well.
That's right, HR as well. So, I think experience matters a lot. And that's where I guess we look at it, and you want to create a practice where you're giving the best experience. Now, as an educational company and as an educational organization, we have members that need to also have a very positive experience, right? So we have people that can attend an evening course. We have dentists that can attend a day course, or dentists that can attend a 3-day course. So it is very, very important that the experience that they have is going to be something that's memorable, right? It's why, if you take a look at it, every hotel that we do a course at will leave a little pad of paper with a little Bic pen with the hotel logo, but that's not good enough for us. Honestly, I don't like 100%. That. We will spend the money to buy branded notebooks, branded pens, because experience matters. I think that's the image that they're going to have of Clearly Aligned, right? And then when we take a look at our other organization, Clearly Select, well, these members now are paying, like, they're obviously paying to be part of this membership and have this membership. So there's a certain experience that we want to leave them with, right? So that's going to be from everything from how is their billing conducted, how are any of their questions answered, how any of their ClinCheck reviews are done. So every single touch point that a dentist or a doctor's practice has with us has to have a positive experience.
Absolutely.
And whether you're talking retail, like high-end fashion, high-end luxury, whether you're talking, obviously clinical education, experience matters. And I think when you take a look at big box, Future Shop, which obviously doesn't exist anymore, it got bought out by Best Buy. And even as far as Best Buy goes, they were struggling. And they were struggling against Amazon.com, the online e-retailers, and until they got a new CEO that basically said, wait a minute, experience matters. When people are coming in and you've got a cable that you can buy for $20 or $30, if it's easier and better experience for me to buy it online, I'm just going to buy it online. Why am I going to go into a store and buy it? So so experience totally matters. It doesn't matter what kind of store you're running.
Well, yeah, I agree. If experience doesn't matter, then all you're buying on is features.
Yeah.
And so if that's the situation, then you're Walmart because you're in a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
And even Walmart will try to provide that. Their commercials will all show, here we are, super happy and friendly. But in reality, like, how hard is it to find somebody in a Walmart who's actually going to help you?
No.
But that's the thing, is that for these practices, we would really focus on all the different components. And we do. We focus on all the different components of that experience for our patients because we want them to be able to, like, what's the experience, like you said, when the phone call happens?
Yep.
Do you know as a doctor how your staff are answering the phone? Do you know how they communicate when the patient comes into the office? Do you know what it's like as they're sat in the chair? Are your staff gossiping in the back, making jokes? Do they hear them talking about their weekends?
Yep.
The experience is everything.
Yep.
And that is what allows patients to make a decision of whether they like your practice or not.
Yeah, and patients will probably within the first few minutes decide, do I like you or do I not like you? I think even that goes with even humans. I could make up a stat because what's that? 70% of stats are made up. But I think it's within 30 seconds, 45 seconds or something like that. It's
36
seconds.
Yeah.
Two humans, what's that?
0.5.
0.5.
Yeah. Two humans will be like, quickly, do I like you? Do I trust you? Is this going to work?
No, it's an evolutionary trait that you will know whether you trust somebody.
Yeah.
And whether they're being authentic and genuine. Because the thing is if you don't genuinely care about someone's experience, it's going to show through. You have to actually be genuinely interested in improving their experience, or else it's also inauthentic.
Yes. Be yourself, be authentic. Here, I think one of the reasons why someone can be successful is because they truly care about the field that they're in. I think if you have a coffee shop and you really care about that coffee shop, you're going to be amazing at it and your customers are going to love you. If you're a dentist and you love your job and you provide a great experience and you're authentic and yourself, patients and your staff are going to see that, and that will relate to an easier, more successul business or practice.
Well, and I think it stands true for even us, right? Like, you think about that experience that I'm your dentist, and I realize, wow, I think he's a really cool guy.
And how could you not?
We're going to the After Hours podcast now. But I think Ray's a really cool guy. And I think because the experience that was provided was, we got you in on a Saturday. We got you in out of pain. We explained things well. We gave you the treatment that was required. And then you also have that connection to say, like, wow, genuinely, this is a really good experience. And then it leads to more. It leads to, hey, you want to go because Ray works right down the street from me, so you want to go grab whatever it sounds like, and so weird when I say it this way, but a drink,
you want to go grab a drink or something like that.
Go grab a drink and just hang out. And I had no friends. No,
you had no friends. I had no friends.
It was a match made in heaven.
There you go.
So the key
and now
is,
we still don't have friends.
we got each other at least.
That's all
right?
that matters.
But I think that experience, like, it progresses up and up and up to the point now where, like, you get to work with such an amazing friend. And for those who haven't experienced it yet, like, Ray's role within Clearly Select and within Clearly Aligned is so valuable because he truly does follow through on all these things that he says about the experience, because we want doctors not just to have the experience, but the experience leads to you being able to retain the information better. It leads to them being able to improve what they're doing in their practice, because it's that motivation that comes from having the good experience. So, like, my goals and role within the organization of creating this education and creating systems and direct things that support doctors when it comes to, like, clinical or operational. We've got Ray, of course, helping with the experience aspect of things. We've got Chris on the consulting. We've got Kelly on the ClinCheck design. We've got so many different support specialists that are helping give that information and problem solving to our doctors. But all of these things are required in order to be successful as an educational support group and company, just like they're all required for your patients if you want to focus on patient retention and patient satisfaction.
Absolutely.
And if you can do that, like, one of the things I'm most proud about with Clearly Aligned and Clearly Select for our staff is how good of an environment it is to work at, like the passion that people have.
I think it's awesome, and obviously growing the team. And what's amazing is, I want to say every single person that is on our team has been a referral of someone else that's working with us and for us. And that's the power that the people that we have working for us are willing to put their name and their reputation on the line to say, hey, I have this person for this role. It will be amazing. And, we've had, like, I think Natalie does a great job. We've got our project, like Alini, Akimi, Kenji. Everyone is just so freaking awesome and cares so much. And now we're almost at a level where we have a list of people that we can call because of referrals, where it's just like, hey, if we're ever looking for this kind of a person, please let's interview so-and-so.
And I'm going to put you on the spot and force you into this position, because I think this is almost the biggest testament. But, like, talk to me about essentially making the decision to leave where you were working in order to take this opportunity. Like, that, I don't take that lightly. And that to me is almost the biggest testament, because it's the whole show, don't tell. It's easy to say something, but for someone to actually leave their extremely high paying, prestigious job, like you previously would be telling me your stories about buying diamonds and being in Switzerland at VIP Rolex events with celebrities. And then you're giving that up to come work with me. Like, what a testament. So I'm putting you on the spot. How did you come to that decision? How did that come about?
Okay. So, I mean, I could talk about this for hours, so I will. You and I, we can both talk for a long time, but I think it comes from, obviously, yes, the patient experience was great, but then that turned into friendship. And then, obviously, before I even was involved in any capacity, we would talk about business and what you were working on and what I was working on, and even our dreams. So getting involved and getting for lack of a better word, getting my foot in the door, like, or helping you out on a very part-time basis, I was like, okay, I see this. And I was not doing it for Clearly Aligned at that time. I was doing it more, you're my best friend, and I'm like, all right, let's, but FYI, you're my best friend now. I just
yes, I've been waiting for this for
breaking news.
Long.
Breaking news.
You're a pretty good friend too.
Okay. You are average at best.
Also my best friend.
It was just like, okay, you're a good guy. Like I've always said, you're good people. Always surround yourself with good people.
Totally.
So it started there, and then we started doing more and more together. And then obviously there was a point where I was like, what do I want in my life, and how can I get that? So I saw the transformation that you were making in the lives of dentists and their practices. And not only from a business level, but even on a personal level. And I think what was so powerful, and it kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier, is just hearing some of the feedback from your session today, was how at the end of a 2-day lecture or even a 1-day lecture, the amount of times I would hear, wow, you've changed my life. Wow, the way you taught, no one else teaches like that, and so on. So I think when I looked at that, I'm just like, I want to be part of this because I feel that's also what I want to do in my role. So when we talk about the experience, obviously I can't get up on stage and talk clinical dentistry because of 2 reasons. 1, you won't let me, and 2, I'm not a dentist. But
You're going up next, right?
yes, impacted canines, right?
Yeah.
But I truly, I'm like, holy shit, like this is so cool. I want to be part of this. I want to be part of the journey a dentist or a practice or an individual takes, and we're able to transform it. So for me, coming on board on a full-time capacity was a no-brainer. It was super easy. I also think that obviously my wife being from Australia, our end goal, we always talk about finding the why. Why do we do the things we do? Like, I feel for me, why do I do what I do is because I want to get to a spot, and I am there, is where I can spend time in Canada with my parents and my family, but at the same time, we can spend time in Australia with my wife and her family. I live 5 minutes from my parents. You know that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I go there every 2 days, every 3 days. But my wife's family, they're halfway across the world. My why? Be able to spend more time in Australia and Canada.
Yeah.
And this allows me to do that. So,
Well, and I think that's such a testament that no matter what field you're in,
yeah,
right, the why and what you have the ability to do with the lifestyle side, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're in a profession previously that you can't at Future Shop managing it. You're there Christmas Eve, you're there New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
New Year's Day, you're there every single day.
Yeah.
In the jewelry world, same
Yeah.
thing.
you have
And
to
so
be,
you
right?
have to be.
You have to be.
And so it's about creating that life that you want to have,
Yeah.
so that you have the ability now to have lifestyle design. And
Yep.
for dentists, there's really only one way. Unless you want to be a dental radiologist
Yep.
or pathologist, you have to either do business
Yep.
or orthodontics. Those are the only 2 options
Yep.
that allow for you to get out of the patient's mouth
Yep.
and to be able to take that time away. Because Ray and I, we went to Italy, like we said, with our families for 3 weeks.
Yep.
And then Amy and I, my wife and kids, we've been to Costa Rica this year
That's
for
right.
about 3 weeks. We'll be in Hawaii in the fall. I practice 1 week of clinical dentistry per month, to even less than that sometimes, but we're still able to maintain lots of case volume and growth because we are in a position where we're creating the lifestyle we want. We're creating our own experience by taking control. And that is as big of a point that I want doctors to know. I was actually talking to the team about how I really want to start doing some podcasts specifically on the business side of dentistry, because we don't even talk about the fact that we've grown multiple practices that do almost $20 million in billings, from originally 4 chairs to now 30 chairs, that there's this ability to do so many things, whatever direction you want to go with your why.
Yeah.
But I think for most people, it would be like, hey, I want to make really good money.
Yeah.
I want to work to the degree that I'm happy doing it. And I want to find career satisfaction and purpose in what I'm doing. And I don't want to have to be screwing up my body to do it. And
I don't want to just
dealing with
work.
crap.
I don't want to just work.
And
And
I don't want
think,
a job, you want a career.
yeah, you want a career, you want to have fun. And when you really think about finding your why, I think it's such a simple statement, but it's really important for people to really figure that out. Why do you do what you do? Like, so the more you work, the more financial, the more money you have in the bank. Okay. But then there's something you want to do with that. Maybe, you know what? Maybe you want to go and buy cars because that's your why. Maybe you want to travel. In my case, it is travel, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I drive a 2012 beat up Ford Fusion. That my why is not cars. My why is not boats. My why is the ability to spend more time with my family in
Mhm.
Canada
Mhm.
and my family in Australia. That, I think everyone's got to find your why. Why do you do it?
Totally.
Otherwise, don't do it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you find that, then you're passionate towards it. And ironically, the thing is, though,
Yeah.
and it holds true for so many people in so many different fields, if you create the environment and the world that you want, ironically, you end up making more.
Yeah.
Like, I make more money doing this than I did working full-time general dentistry.
Yeah.
When with my ortho. And so
Yeah.
if you do that and you can set up that situation for yourself, well, then passion beats budget every day of the week.
Yep.
We say that all the time. Like, we don't have the budget of a multinational company. We are actually multinational because we're in
Yeah, we
Canada,
do.
US, and
That's
wow,
right.
I guess we are.
We don't have the budget. We have half of it. We are
Yeah.
multinational.
We are
We're working on
multinational,
the budget. That's my VP of finance side.
Yeah,
We're working
exactly.
on that budget.
But when we look at it, it's like everybody is so passionate in our organization towards what they do and the support they provide dentists. And I think that just speaks volumes to the fact that, like, to me, what we do is almost more of an artistic endeavor towards, like, I would rather us spend more money to do something differently, not for a physical, tangible good, like they receive a different notepad, but more so like, if we can set up our Pathways program where we give doctors direct support in terms of diagnosing their practice and giving them the direct plan that will help them implement strategies in their practice to then be successful. And we need to have someone on board as an operational specialist to work with this group of dentists. Then we'll hire the person.
Exactly. We will hire, and we did, right? We brought on an integration specialist a few months ago, and we will spend whatever money we need to build the right systems, to build the right organizations to give the best experience.
Totally.
And yes, that will then allow our members to fully utilize the resources that we give them and we provide. And yes, they will be successful. A byproduct of that will be increased finances, which is great.
But that's not the primary goal.
That's not the primary goal.
Exactly. It's almost like the artistic endeavor of doing things to the highest level that you possibly can, because, like, you know this obviously, but like my mission being is, like, I think as dentists we suck at our jobs because on the ortho side, because we don't talk to people about these problems in their mouth, and we do cases to such low standards. And if we could go ahead and we could really improve the way that we're treating, and we could talk to more people about it, so many more people would benefit, and dentists would make so much more money and have so much more free time and flexibility and not hate their jobs. And as much as we hear people say, for every 1 out of 10 who says, like, I love dentistry, it's the best thing ever, you're kind of selling your soul a little bit to be a dentist, with the back pain, the exposure to the chemicals, the radiation, the dealing with the staff, the needle stick exposures. I mean, the worst one is just straight up the back pain. And so we give up so much to do this. And then, well, I shouldn't say the back pain is worse. The worst is giving up your freedom of autonomy to not have to be physically in somebody's mouth to make money. And so once you get through these barriers and these hurdles and you realize what can be done, like, I think that's why those doctors come up and say, you changed my life. It's not because, like, you changed my life, my clinical dentistry got a little bit better. It's, you changed my life because now I work less, I make more, and I have more satisfaction in what I'm doing. I enjoy
what I do. And I think when we take a look at our team, even, we have created an environment where everyone enjoys what they do. And I think I'm from a dental practice, from a retail store, anywhere where you're leading people. Like, I think whether it's a dental practice, a retail store, anything, you're leading people. You're managing and you're leading people. You have to create an environment where your employees love coming to work and they enjoy what they do.
And find purpose in it too.
Yes. And the more we can teach that, I think that's the thing, is a lot of business owners will open up a business, but they lack the skills in all these areas of staff engagement, having some sort of a vision. You know, everyone's like, they always talk about having a vision is important, having a mission is important. Yes, but everyone overcomplicates. Like, oh my God, now I'm going to sit down here. I need to go hire a consultant, come up with, okay, this is your vision. Let's figure out these colors and this and that. Yes, you know, maybe there's a time and place for that, but I think it's like, okay, your vision, I feel that's your why.
Well, I think the book that every single dentist should read, if you have not read this book right now, you need to read It Starts With Why. right? It goes
Yep.
through the whole process of, if you don't know why you do something, you might find success by floundering around. But if you have clear vision, if you have the Rolex way as the why,
Yep.
that we will approach this a certain way, that every time we make a decision, it's based off of the customer
Yep.
experience and quality.
Yep.
Then you're going to have clear direction when you have a hard choice where you could go ahead and, you know what, Walmart wants to buy 10,000 Rolexes. Is that the Rolex way? Is that what they're based on? Well, no, that's not the why they exist. And so they're not going to face a conflict of identity
Yep.
when that occurs, because they know before that offer comes up what their why is.
Exactly.
And so again, our why is because we are here to change the lives of dentists,
Yep.
to raise the standard of what can be done, and to do this internationally, because there are 2 million dentists right now, and of the billions of people who could benefit from treatment, almost none are being treated. 75% of the population in North America would benefit from doing orthodontic treatment. Less than 1% is being
Yep.
treated.
So
So-
the possibilities are endless. Like, you take a look and you see the impact that dentists can have in this world. Like, come on. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the impact is going to be so massive. And I'm just glad that, like, I get to play a role in that, like
A
it's-
big role.
Yeah, pretty big role. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just glad that
No,
I
it
get to be
is,
part
yeah.
of that journey.
Totally.
Right?
And it's crazy to me that when we look, I don't know, we're 4,000 to 5,000 dentists educated now.
Yep.
If you think each one of those has each one has 1,000 patients.
Yep.
Well, 4,000 times 1,000, that's 4 million. The population of Canada and the US combined is about, I don't know, 350
Three-
plus another 30 or 40
Yeah,
million.
so let's
It's
call
like-
it 380,
call
390.
it even round up to 400 million. We will have had an impact on dentists to the extent that 1 out of every 100 people, then 4 million out of those 400 million will have been treated by a dentist who
That at some
would
point
have
has had a connection.
a connection with, has seen the philosophy and the impact that this has. And so I think the cool thing for both of us being in our 30s is that we have so many years left to go in this world of education and training dentists. And so we can absolutely, just help provide the education, the training, the support. And there's going to be 30 more years of this that we can do. And we're going to be able to be at the forefront of the technological changes by having the positions that we do, and the support of the line, the ability to access protocols earlier, just all the different components, and also the community of high-end dentists who want to make a difference.
Like, I think when it comes to our partnership with Align, we need partnerships like that. Those partnerships are great because, as you said, it does allow us to be at the forefront of what Align is working on, and there is no other better company or any other company that's even spending half of what Align is spending. I think when we take a look from a business standpoint, and we're not just in the US or just in Canada, obviously looking at the global market of Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, where dentists are dentists, patients are patients, teeth are teeth.
Totally.
Let's not just limit ourselves to North America.
Well, I think I'm lecturing next week for a group in Iraq.
I actually need to.
What day is that?
I think that's on Wednesday. I need to do that.
3 days I'm lecturing for Iraqi Dental Society.
Yeah, that one. And then obviously we did a podcast or a webinar with the Australians 2 weeks ago.
I was up at 2 a.m.
Yep.
That was
2 till 5:30, right?
Ray got up. Ray actually didn't go to sleep, so I woke up. I went to bed at 10. Woke up at 2 a.m. to lecture for dentists in Australia. Ray stayed up till 5 a.m. He didn't go to sleep the whole way through.
Dude, I don't even know why I did that. Like, it was just like, I should have gone to sleep. I should have gone to sleep. I was probably reading a Wikipedia article on something. And then I remember it being like midnight, because it was at 2, right?
Yeah, 2 is when we started.
2 a.m. is when it started. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to sleep now. Yeah. So then it started at 2. It was supposed to be a 3-hour. Like, initially, it was going to be, you were thinking 2 hours.
It was supposed to only be 2 hours.
Yeah, and then you're like,
but
wait
then
a minute,
someone booked a Zoom for 3 hours.
Yeah, so it ended up being 3.5 hours. I remember it being 5:30.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, it doesn't make sense for me to go back to sleep now. And the reason for that is because my son wakes up at 6:30.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, well, he's going to be up in an hour anyways. And then obviously the day just started after that. So that was very cool.
that is dedication or slave labor, one of the two.
That's right.
Either way.
I think you told me if I was not not up all night for that webinar, I would have to go look for a new job. But then you also fired me the other day when you thought I wasn't there. I was in the back of the room. You're just like, "Where's Ray? Where's Ray?" I'm in the back of the room working away. Man,
Putting his head to the grindstone.
I know.
nose to the grindstone,
I was on my laptop, and I heard you say something, and I'm just like, I think he's talking about me.
I did not actually fire Ray for clarity here.
Yes.
He's still with us.
I quit.
Because if we know if we're losing Ray, then half the doctors in our organization are going to be
I'm taking them with me. I am taking them with me. I am creating my own. No,
next level.
What's that? Rehan Next Level?
Yeah.
RNL?
Yeah. But Ray, just want to say, really cool to do this. We kind of forced Ray to do this, and what a natural, right? Like, well-spoken, a great leader of our team, of many other teams, extending from, again, small-scale organizations with massive budgets to huge organizations. Just an absolute pleasure. I have received so many of my insights into how to operate businesses from the insights that Ray gave me. And so, often you see him in the courses or involved with Clearly Select in the background running things, but feel free to pick his brain on things.
I love, honestly, sharing what I've learned. I think your philosophy of sharing what you've learned and not just keeping it to yourself is something that I feel I have learned a lot as well, and I'd love to share anything that I've learned.
He'll have his course coming up.
I have my course coming up. It's $49.95. Referral link below.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I have it's included as part of just being as part of this podcast. You can come up to me and ask me whatever you want. I'd love to share, and I have so much to learn as well. It's I pick up so much from different conversations I have with individuals. So.
All right.